There is a video that has now gone viral on TikTok. TikTok is one of these things for the Gen Zers and millennials. Basically, you upload these little videos to TikTok. They're supposed to be sort of edited into 10, 15 seconds or something. And then basically it acts almost like Snapchat, except they don't disappear. You put them out publicly and then people view them. This video has been viewed a bajillion times now because it's just horrifying and disgusting. Basically, it's a young woman who goes with her friend to get an abortion, and she is happy the whole way through. She goes there and she's making fun of people who are at the abortion clinic who seem to be a little bit upset about, killing a baby. And here is a little bit of the TikTok video. I'll read it to you because a lot of it is done in text. It says, "Abortion time, take two." Take two.
Ashley?
It's a pregnancy test. And then she's laughing, nervous laugh. There's two abortion moods. People who are sad, and then her partying it up. Her pumping her fist and smiling while she gets an abortion. And then it shows the ultrasound as that fetus is sucked into a tube. So let me just point something out about the modern American left. I'm old enough to remember when people on the left at least acknowledged the moral quandaries involved in abortion. I'm old enough to remember safe, legal, and rare, which was the Bill Clinton line. Now, it never made any logical sense, but at least it made a certain amount of emotional sense. It didn't make any logical sense because if you believe that it's a wrong, then it should not be legal, right? But if you are at least making the moral, at least if you're making the emotional case that there is something that is worthy of consideration here, that at least is living in the realm of reality. Acting as though it is nothing more than getting a polyp removed to take an incipient human life and then kill it. And by the way, what does that mean, abortion take two? Is that her second abortion? I mean, that's all I can take away from that because I really don't know what that means. Her celebrating, fist pumping, as though this is women's empowerment, this is what our culture has done to the notion of femininity. It's absolutely horrifying. So my wife is literally on the verge of giving birth, right, to child number 3. Thank God, everything looks healthy. Thank God. Okay, I can tell you that from the very instant we knew she was pregnant, obviously this was now a part of our life. And not only was this a part of our life, this was an individual soul that was going to have a place in this world. And if God forbid something had happened to that child, we would have mourned for the unborn child. I mean, that is the way that Meghan McCain wrote a beautiful column about this for the New York Times when she had a miscarriage. People mourn for their unborn children. They don't know them as well as they know their born children, obviously, but this is still a thing with moral weight. This is still the vision of people celebrating, the shout your abortion movement, as though it is a mark of femininity and womanhood to cast out that which most makes you a woman. And yes, it does, okay? I'm sorry. Pregnancy is one of the things that makes you most a woman as distinguished from most a man. It's not what makes you most a human being, right? Reason makes you most a human being, but your capacity to have a child is one of the key features of being a woman as opposed to being a biological man. And to pretend that that doesn't matter, and to pretend that femininity is to actively cast that out, that female empowerment is to take that which makes you most uniquely female, your superpower, right? It is a superpower. You're able to grow a child in your own body and then feed that child using your own body. That's a superpower, man. That is a superpower. And to pretend that that is something negative and bad, and that casting that child out and that killing that unborn human being, that is some sort of mark of bravery or femininity, that you're more of a woman for doing that than you would be if you had taken the child to term, that somehow it's degrading to you as a woman, right? Not as a human being, as a woman, to carry a child to term and have that child, to exercise your superpower. I mean, honest to God, it's the equivalent of Superman deliberately grounding himself and then saying, I feel more like a Kryptonian today. That's just not the way that this works. Your superpower is this thing. Talk to any woman who has been pregnant. This isn't just a me point, okay? This is a my wife point. This is any woman who's been pregnant point, okay? This is an amazing, amazing gift that God has given you or nature has given you if you don't believe in God. And that gift, that amazing gift, to take that and to degrade that, to pretend that the mark of womanhood is to take that which most makes you a woman and then throw it away, is really insane. I mean, it truly is. And the celebration is just, it's beyond the moral pale. But that is our society now. Our society is you celebrate the sin. It's not enough to just acknowledge that a sin is being committed or to say, listen, I believe I should have the right to commit the sin, even if I think it's a sin, even if I think it's bad, I think I should have the right to commit the sin. It's not a good argument, but at least that's an argument. But to celebrate the sin is an act of evil. To celebrate doing something that harms another human being. And by the way, I'm not seeing any evidence she took a pregnancy test. She doesn't look as though she was forced into the sex in this particular video. If that is different, then I will amend that statement. But I've seen no information to suggest that. If she had consensual sex with a person and then she got pregnant, which is a result of consensual sex in many cases, turns out these two things are interlinked. And then her natural response is to celebrate presumably both the casual sex and then also the abortion, how does this make anybody a better human being? How does this make society better? How does this make femininity better? How does this strengthen womanhood in any real way? If you watch that and you're not horrified, I'd say you're doing morality wrong, whether you're left, right, or center. You got to take this stuff with a certain level of moral seriousness for you to even be taken seriously as a moral human being. The other blithe attitude toward abortion is utterly astonishing. The Michelle Wolf, celebrate your abortion, fire off fireworks. This is what makes us free. If your freedom is the killing of an unborn human being and celebrating it and fist pumping it while you do it and making fun of people who are depressed and upset about doing it, even if they're doing it, I mean, what utter callousness. Truly amazing. Facts don't care about your feelings, and it's a fact that The Ben Shapiro Show is the largest conservative podcast in the nation. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all of our content.